Shoot the
Whittle.
bull.
Whittle.
Is that what you did,
We had
Whittle?
radios.
Radios.
I'm trying to record this, Grandma, and you're messing him
Go
up.
for it.
Oh. You'd have to finally turn the thing off.
Run the battery down.
She runs down
Yes.
now. I can talk to her for a while. She's talking now.
Good.
She's feeling good.
Yeah.
And other times, she gets tired.
Set your hand right there. Get it off the table.
Why?
Shaking it. See, he's 70, almost 70 years old. We got to get him on tape.
Yeah, you're not going to have another 70.
The 25th.
So maybe another 10 years, 80 years old.
It says it's going to live till 100.
That's not another 70. 77 is 40.
40.
140. 70.
Yeah, well.
Makes 140. I said you're not going to have him another 70.
No.
So you better take a picture and have him talking a little bit.
What?
And she wants her picture.
Oh, she loves to have her picture made.
Grow up and make a movie star.
Look at a picture of Grandpa.
Go away.
Go stand next to
Where's
him.
our Matthew at? And Adam.
So 1924, what was the first car you drove or family owned? Get back away from the table.
Well, my
The
daddy,
family didn't own a car. Did Daddy ever drive a car?
but he owned a car.
Oh, we owned them. That's great.
He had
Get away
a,
from the table, Rachel. Oh.
he had a T model
Bucket with me.
whenever I was born.
Oh, I don't remember that far back.
1924, but he never drove it.
So,
Who drove it?
Uncle Marion drove it, and different ones to drive it. It was a pickup,
my finger
Model T pickup,
peeled off.
Did you finish your others?
and he sold it. Well, I was 8 years old when he sold it.
It started peeling
But he lived quite a while.
Friday.
He lived.
And
I was born when he was alive, wasn't he?
the whiteness got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
That skin
and
died.
I finally got tore a hole in it. And I wrapped it up because anything underneath this wheeler is tender. I told you, it's good.
He didn't have an eye. He had a glass eye too.
So I put a Band-Aid around it, trying to protect it. And then the white
And
skin
Kent
got
took
big.
his eye out.
And after them
But you could see that down into his eye.
On the way home,
See
I
it
set it
coming,
like this and drive it.
That's what-
I set it in the sun, and kind of like drying it out. And I'd take more and more and more of the peeling.
We'll be all right now.
He got over it.
Looked about this good high.
I didn't know they had technology of cancer back then. I guess in 60 something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess he was.
Yes, they know about cancer. That's
What
it.
was original? What was Dad when he had his eye took out? About how old it was?
How old was he?
Yeah.
Probably about 62.
Huh?
About 62.
Something like
Sit
that.
down, sit his eye out. Sit down, see his toes.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that as a kid.
What kind of a person was he?
It's awful.
Did you do wheelies?
Just an easy going person.
Jokes.
Jokes?
Yeah, he's full
He
of
did
pranks and jokes and kids cut up and on,
He wasn't a real gripey or
no.
hard to get along with, easy going.
Well, Sherman looks a whole lot like him.
Wish we could go over and see a little
Sherman is bigger than
fill
him.
up for that.
Sherman, now he's the big one, isn't he?
No one else will be dressed up either.
Dad weighed about 180 pounds. I think he was 5'8".
He's short.
And how old was he when he died?
All the rest of us boys except
63.
Except
He
Sherman.
wasn't old.
No, he wasn't old when he died.
I mean, now that I've already passed.
What one thing sticks
He's
out
not
about you that
old.
you remember about him that sticks in your mind if you think about your dad?
Well, he was always good to us kids. Wasn't mean to us or nothing.
Didn't get on to you a lot? Didn't whoop you much?
When he said if it had something, you better done it. You didn't argue
Rupe
back
was in
with
the
him.
motion, we'd go
Wasn't
see
you?
it, see
Say,
it,
so you told one of your brothers or something. Was in, you said he was in bed or something. He told him to get up and get out, and he said or something. I don't know. One of your brothers.
Sherman, after he come back from service,
What'd he do?
jerked him out of bed,
A lot of times I go
worked him
on
over. Whenever he said something, he meant it. He said, "You set your foot under my bed,
else that I have a day off.
eat my food, you obey my rules." And he never, but he called a third time, "Get out of bed, you better get out of bed."
Yeah, he's harder on him.
Huh?
He was harder on them than he was the rest of the kids because he's the oldest. You're always going to raise the perfect one out of the first one. That's why you learn that it don't work.
So you was the oldest boy?
That was real hard on him.
He probably rode you tougher than the other ones in, huh?
Well, I done a lot more work than all the rest of them put together did. Of course,
What's expected?
I was older.
He pushed him and required more of him.
How much older were you than the other
The
one?
other kids was more.
Well, I'm
relaxed,
5 years older
more-
than Fred.
And he's the next to the oldest?
they kind of
Yeah,
been
well, I got a
now.
brother in between me and him.
8
Oh, but he
years old,
died
they
though.
sent him to
Yeah.
town to buy groceries. He done everything like a man.
About 2 years between me
A
and
little
Charlie.
kid.
Chester.
And if he did anything wrong, then they just
It's
ball
crisis.
him out.
Yeah.
Balled Grandpa out.
Yeah, your grandpa.
Rode him tough, huh?
I don't think they thought about it that way, but I remember somebody else that was too tough on their first one. He
Your
was
mom
supposed-
was.
He
Like
was
that
supposed
too,
to have been
wasn't she?
perfect.
Isn't that how your mom was on you? Aren't you the
I
oldest?
remember when he was a baby, Robert was mean to him.
I was not.
I was right there. I ought to know.
Still mean.
I'm ornery.
And Adam's personality can't take what you put on him. And you was mean to him because you wanted him to act like an adult, and he was a baby. I mean, he wasn't even 2 years old.
How aren't you the oldest kid?
No, I am not.
Oldest girl.
No, Elise was oldest.
Oh, so you was the baby.
No, I wasn't. I'm second. And I have 3 brothers younger than me. First child, always.
Now, who's the oldest then? Letha isn't the oldest, is she?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She is.
Yes, she is.
And she's the one that got most of the trouble.
Yeah. They put the oldest one out there to boss all the rest of them. If any of the other kids didn't do what they're supposed to do, the oldest one got a whooping for it.
Yeah.
For not seeing to it that they didn't do whatever they didn't do or wasn't supposed to do. They were left like an adult.
It was funny and
in
it wasn't
charge.
funny.
What do you mean, funny?
Well, I was laying by corn, and they had Fred and Chester planting peas. You know, just go down the road and just sowing the peas, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they sure got rid of a lot of peas
All quick.
all quick. Well, when they come up, it shows what is that, just big garbs here and yonder. They're getting peas.
Did you get a whooping for it?
No. Well, I didn't know it. They hadn't, you know, they were, both of them, they'd go down a row of peas, you know, and well,
He's
2 of them, they
working
were
a
just,
team or one or something. He's working like a man, running the
Horses.
plow, laying by the farm. These kids are
you know, when I was 9 years old.
9 years old, working a team of mules or horses or whatever.
Like Adam.
Adam's age. He's probably bigger than Adam, though.
Well, I don't know. He's a pretty short person. How big do you think he was?
Well, I guess that's right. You are short, aren't you?
He wasn't. No, they made him act like an adult.
Well, so that's where I get it from.
No,
Yeah.
you
Oh.
wasn't there. You didn't know anything about it.
That's what they expected out of me.
Oh, pooh.
Still waiting.
Wait for me to grow up.
Still waiting.
No, when I was Adam's age, I took a team of horses and went to the field with a plow and worked all day long.
We won't even let him ride the lawnmower by himself.
Have
Anna
to get
won't.
up and had to get
Not
up
after
and
that stunt he pulled the other day.
What
What did he
stuff?
do?
Was it the
When
no
you let-
hands thing or something?
Huh?
Was it the no hands? You was
Yes,
talking
you
about?
just set him out there in Grandma's field. He was had him mowing your field, and Adam, I looked over there, went to go check on him. He was standing up, going, "Look, Rachel, no hands!" And then he'd turn around and he'd sit on the steering wheel backwards and stuff, and he was just skipping
and
off
it's
out
moving
there.
on.
Yeah.
It's traveling and he's doing all these things. What you fell underneath it?
And Robert wasn't even watching him. He was out in the back with his bees.
Thinking.
And he had never been
Run
on
right
one
over
before
him.
at all. Robert
Okay.
just put him on it and left him out by himself.
Well, Matthew, Christopher wants a ramp, ride the bicycle and fly like Evil.
Yes, oh
I made him one before he left here.
No, yeah, then all the boys do that out there. They still ride around.
Well, he
Gotta fly.
when you had
through
the
there.
See, that's how I
lawnmower at
got
our
this
house
scar on
the
my
other
nose
day,
doing
when I
something
got
like
back,
that.
That was when we
he
were
wanted,
dating.
the key was in it, so he wanted to turn it on and drive it. He said, "Let me just drive it." I wouldn't let him drive that. Now I know why. I said, "Oh no, that is your grandpa's, and we can't let anything happen to it." Oh no. But he wanted to
Who you
drive that
taking that-
lawnmower.
I got William over there.
Robert,
Drive that.
you are gonna get it. He's got it on me. So I just this
I used to
close
have to ride
up.
kids,
Holy cow!
get up, I'd have to go out in the pasture.
Yes,
Before
he got-
daylight, get the
He
horses
got up
in.
and you know how dewy.
Yes.
Wake the horses up.
He'd
No,
have to
go
go
get
out
them,
and
bring
get
them in so we can
horses to bring them in.
Well, what did your dad work? What did he do when he was doing all
He
that?
worked on the WPA.
His
WPA.
daddy was lazy.
His daddy was lazy.
Oh.
He'd
But
take my team and have to go about 8 miles. Drive a wagon team about 30 minutes.
8 miles
He
on that.
wasn't. I mean, they prospered a little more later in later years, but earlier years they didn't. They lived more than 50 years behind time.
Well, when you met him and stuff, how were they living in comparison to y'all? Well, y'all,
About 50 years behind time.
is that right? Well, how much better? I mean, what made y'all better, more advanced than them?
My daddy wasn't lazy.
I know what I want to say.
My daddy was more prosperous. When my daddy was 17 years old, he owned his own team and worked in the logging woods.
So he's
My daddy always had something.
he's a businessman.
Yes. Very industrious.
Well, that
He
sounds.
prospered. He'd figure on things and he'd study things and
Figure out how to make money.
he'd figure out how to.
Well, there's some people are like that, and some people are followers.
No, my daddy was a leader. You were no follower.
I mean, some people it has to work behind somebody and don't have to want to.
No, my daddy had men working under him as he got on out into the carpentry.
That's how
world.
come he was probably a little more prosperous when he died. He had a lot to show for himself.
Yes. 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 Was
What
considered-
type of work did Grandpa Rupe's dad do?
I mean, how did?
don't know.
What kind of? I don't think I've heard anything about them. His parents.
I really don't know.
Don't know nothing about
I
it. huh?
think when Daddy was in the logging business, they all was doing some of that, brothers and brother-in-laws.
And then he worked,
But I don't see, all my life, my grandpa was old. I don't remember. And they moved out to West Texas. And I
seemed
never
like
knew
he
a lot
worked
about
at
it.
Corvette Tavern.
Always what?
Corvette Tavern.
He worked.
That cave.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's just a brother that did that.
Well, I knew the boys did.
What do you mean
My-
they worked
my
at it,
grandpa
or what
They
did
was
they
in
do?
the cave.
Help clean
Daddy's
it out,
brother
or
did.
what did they do?
Make new
Earl.
tools and keep them repaired.
Oh, is
They
that
lived
right?
there in that town, and he
One
worked out
of
of the
one of Paul's brothers got killed in there.
yeah,
Rupe?
That's the
He was
only-
here,
And
Rupe?
did you meet Grandpa Rupe's
That's kind of
mother?
different, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't much. It was
Yeah.
like 30, 40 cents.
When I
What kind
was
of person was she?
It was the last
hard to remember,
Oh,
hard to tell.
12.
There's always the old people to me.
Well, they were,
They came to
most of
California.
them was, they was little people.
Short.
They
taller
came
than
out to
that, but they
California. I guess it was to Marty's, that lived at Merced. And they came up there to visit Daddy when we lived out there, which is 40 years ago. And they were old and white.
White.
Old and quiet.
Were they from? Did they come across the boat, or were they here?
No,
No, they weren't immigrants or anything.
There's Indian. She was
part
What
Indian.
do you need?
part Indian.
Says you come here, let me kiss on your face.
You hunting, Lenny? Hold on, Adam, get you.
Indian. So you don't know anybody that came across on the boat, huh?
My daddy wasn't here to talk about that. See, we should have had some kind of something of him. He could trace his family all the way back to coming over to see
Y'all
over
saved me
on the
some.
ship.
Yeah.
It wasn't too many steps back.
Yeah.
He could tell you about
You did not even need
all
a
the way
hot
back
dog or
coming
nothing.
across.
From what area? What did they
Hot
come
doggy?
from?
I wasn't that interested in it. I didn't keep up with it.
Her grandma.
Adam.
They was born here.
But now he told Ruby was in about the 6th grade. I think Ruby was about the 6th grade.
Adam.
Maybe a little more.